but my last Ford I had was a piece of crap. Today in the wood yard, wood deliveries and getting rid of some snow coming up right now. So as you know, if you watched yesterday, you should have. I loaded my wood last night before I left the wood yard for my first delivery this morning because it was predicted we're supposed to get a big steaming buttload full of snow. Luckily, it rained for about 3-4 hours. We were supposed to get 4 to 6 inches. That's all we got. This is my driveway at my house, just that little bit. Awesome, because it's like 34, 35 degrees, so only got to get rid of a little bit of snow this morning and go deliver my wood, which I'm going to do, and then we'll go back to the wood yard. So here we go down the road. I am back in the wood yard after my first delivery, and as you can see, I'm a happy boy. Very little snow. It was almost all rain last night. We don't even have an inch, and it's melting because it's about 34 degrees. And look at this. Nice. Don't have to snow blow. It's gonna let it melt. Not gonna do a thing. I love it. So I'm back from my first delivery. And now I just have to uncover the wood underneath here and then get that loaded up. So we're gonna pull the tarps off and load this wood. This delivery is also for 1 face cord or 1/3 of a cord. And it is going to a repeat customer. And this is the guy that told me right up front, he says, last time I got your wood, he said it was awesome, but he said, can we have it even smaller? So yesterday I split this stuff down so that it is very small. So there it is. The wood is tiny, tiny. Little bitty slivers, as you can see. Like almost kindling size. But that's what he wants. And he was willing to pay me extra money just to have that done. So that's what I did. So I'm going to get it loaded up and then we're going to go deliver this load. So here we go again. I'm going to load the wood up. And while I'm loading it, I thought I could use this time to cover some questions that come up all the time on the channel that people like you guys leave in the comments. And I thought this would be a good time to cover some of the questions that I get asked a lot. So, first question that I hear a lot of is what do I have for a truck? Why did I have it? How do I like it? And first off, I can tell you I have had 2 Chevys and 2 Fords in the past. So I'm not like brand loyal or anything. But my last Ford I had was a piece of crap. I bought it brand new. And at 1,500 miles, the transmission went out. So I had it fixed. Of course, I should say they fixed it for free because it was a brand new truck. At 15,000 miles, it went out again. So I didn't trust the truck anymore. So I got rid of it. And then I had, after that, I had a Honda Ridgeline because I just started selling firewood and I really didn't know I was going to get this big. So I wanted to get a truck that was something that was just, you know, more comfortable, and I wasn't really towing a lot. But then I started selling more and more firewood and I knew I had to get rid of it. So I got this Toyota Tundra. It's a SR5 Toyota Tundra. It's got the 5.7 engine. I've got the tow gearing in it, so it's better for towing. So it's not the most expensive one. It's actually more like a work truck. It's kind of like second from the bottom of the line. I have now had it for a little over 6 years, and I have 162,000 miles on it. And you probably know that you've watched the videos. I am either hauling wood with it, or I'm pulling a trailer full of load, or I'm pulling a camper, or I'm towing a boat, or I'm using it to go across fields and through the woods when I'm hunting. So I beat the snot out of it. Hands down, not even close. Best truck I ever owned. Only thing I've done to it so far is been brakes, which I just did after I think I had 120,000 miles when I first did the brakes on it. I put a new battery in it, new tires in it, and was one other thing I did. What was it? Something with this suspension. What the heck did I do to it? Doesn't matter. It wasn't even expensive. Anyway, that's all I've done to it. I haven't done anything to it. It just keeps working. And I haven't spent hardly any money on it other than regular maintenance. So I definitely would get one again. Now, the only drawback is that if I could, I would turn it into a 3/4 ton. A little more heavy duty would be nice. But they build the half tons now, as you know, whether it doesn't matter what model it, what brand it is, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, they make all of them way better than just, you know, 10, 15 years ago what the half tons were. They're actually more like a 3/4 ton. Everything is getting beefier on all the trucks. Now they're all good and they're all getting better because trucks are so popular. They have to be good because the competition is so stiff on them as far as buyers. And it doesn't really matter what you drive. All that matters is that it does what it's supposed to do. And I have mentioned this before. This is not a show pony. This is a work truck. A lot of guys have what I call a show ponies. I'm sorry if this offends you, but if you got a truck that's all jacked up, custom paint job, fancy wheels, all the good stuff you put on it, why? It's just a truck. I don't get it. I'm not that guy. I'm just not into the fanciness. I just want it to work. That's all. It's a truck. So that's the number one question I get is the truck. Another question I get all the time are my loads of wood like you see over here. The load of wood that you see right there. That's actually 2 rows. You just can't see the one in back. Where do I get them? How much do I pay? How much is on a load? I get that question a lot. I think you guys can see pretty good from right there. The loads I get, I buy from a guy. His name is John Corner. He's out of Oshkosh. He is one of the biggest loggers in the state as far as volume. He sells a lot of wood. He's got somewhere around 20 crews of guys that cut for him. And one time I asked him, how much wood do you guys do like in a year? He says, oh, I have no idea. He said, you have to talk to the boss about that. He meant his wife. I said, well, like, what do you do in a week? He said, I don't know, in a week. I said, well, what do you do in a day? He said, oh, between 40 and 50 truckloads a day, every day. So that's a lot of wood. He personally owns, it's like 3,000 or 4,000 acres, I don't know, a lot. And he buys land and then logs it, replants it, and then he leases a lot of it out too. He leases a lot of land out for hunting. And so when he brings me a load of wood, I usually order it ahead of time. I'll call him and tell him, you know, I want a load of barkless oak or a load of cherry or a load of locust, whatever it is that I want. And he usually brings it that day or the next day. He usually has wood available at all times because they cut so much. They always have wood that's available. So when they're cutting, guys will ask me, like, you know, how do they bring the wood, or how is it separated? Well, on logging jobs, you know, they'll separate out their saw logs, you know, the really big, straight, clear trunks, you know, the ones that don't have a lot of knots or branches, things like that. They'll sort all that out, and that will go to the lumber mills. And then they have trees that go to lumber mills for making pallets. They'll separate different kinds of wood for that. And then they have wood, mostly the pulp wood, which is hardwood and even softwoods, that goes to the paper mills for making paper. And then the lowest grade they have is this stuff, firewood, dead standing wood, because the paper mills don't want it. It usually has problems that the sawmills don't want it. You know, you get stuff that's kind of more punky, like this stuff right here, or stuff like, see if I can find one here. Here's another one. You start to get this checking in it like this, so it's dry when I get it, and they don't want that for lumber or in the paper industry. Or you get stuff like this where you start to get the rot, this white on the edges. It's like it starts to disintegrate, turns into real spongy kind of wood. They don't want that. So this is the lowest grade stuff, but he always has a lot of it because around here there's a lot of trees that are dead and dying, oak wilt, has hit it pretty hard. The emerald ash borers hit trees hard, so a lot of the stuff is dying. So when I get a truckload, a minimum on a truckload is 12 full cords. That's like a minimum that they'll bring. And he usually doesn't want to do the minimum, because I've bought from other loggers and they'll usually do 12 or 13 cords on a load. John almost always will load it as full as he can. So I've had loads up to 18 cords that he's brought me where it's overloaded. I'm sure it is. But a lot of times, on average, I would say 15 to 16 cords. And the next question I get all the time is, how much do I pay for the wood when I buy it in a log form like that? The cost is determined on how far they have to truck it, how far they have to haul it. So if they got a job that's close, I might only pay $100 a cord. If it's an average job, it's $105. If it's a little bit farther, $110 per cord. So an average truckload, I'll pay $1,500, $1,600 bucks. That's kind of average. If it's a 12 cord load and they're fairly close by, it's like $1,300 bucks is what a load goes for, which might be high for your area, might be low for your area. I don't know, but that's it. I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna do this a little faster and quit talking. I can't talk and do this at the same time, so I gotta get back to work. There it is. That's a little more than a face cord or a third of a cord, because I had it split down fine, so I just threw it in. I thought it would be a little bit more because it looked like more in the pile. So it's in and I'm going to deliver it. So when I was finishing this last little bit of loading here, and was thinking about talking about the truck before, like I said, I thought of what it was. Struts. I did the struts. That's what needed replacement. I guess it's a pretty common thing if you tow a lot. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not the guy that's going to tell you everything you need to know about your truck. I just want it to work. And I do my work and I let other people do their work. I believe that I can't know everything. So it's a common thing apparently. When you get over 100 and I don't know, I think I had like 130,000 on it when they did it to replace the struts. So anyway, that's it. Now we're going to go deliver this load. So here we go. I am back from my delivery that I just did, you saw me do, and it's very nice. It's about 36 degrees. Everything is melting, which is awesome, but it's supposed to get cold, and so the snow we do have is going to get crusty hard. So I thought about what I could do, because I got about 2 hours left, then I have to leave for another job, and I thought I would stack some wood. But this here still needs to be cut and split, and I'm going to throw it over this direction. So what I did is I grabbed my gloves, something to drink, and my trusty radio. We're going to go over this way because I have a pile of wood way over here on the other side of the wood yard that's been sitting there for, I don't know, a month now. It hasn't been stacked. Yeah, since it's so sloppy over there, we're going to come over here and see how sloppy this is. I think we're going to stack a bunch of maple over here. I got about a full cord or so out here in this field where I've got a bunch of other wood. It's right here. I want to stack this right now. We're going to stack it right here. Here we go. It is complete. It took about 1 hour and 15 minutes to stack the rest of this wood, and it was a little over a full cord. So there it was, and there's a whole herd of voles living in here. See how this grass is all tore up? There's little nests all over the place. And I'll show you something over here. I pulled these 2 pieces out. This is what they do. They get on these fresh green sticks like this and they just chew them all up. See the piles of crap all over and everything. And when I was stacking in this pile here, I actually saw one run across the pallet and back there. So they're here. So I need to set some traps to stop the turd droppers. And I think that was kind of nice to get done. It's been sitting out here for like a month now, and it is stacked. So this is all maple. This whole row here is maple. This whole row here is maple. So I kind of put it with its kind of wood that it is. And so yeah, that's nice to have done. So I think that is it for today. Please hit the buttons, like, subscribe, share, you know what to do. Hit the bell thing. Leave a comment. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me what I'm doing right. Make me feel good, make me feel bad. Doesn't matter, just write something. And I will be back tomorrow in the wood yard. I know where you're going to be. You're going to be here too, because it's the place to be. So get out in the woods and get cutting. Good night, Irene.